ఇక్కడ ఓబీఎస్ పెట్టుకోవాలి, అక్కడ స్టూడియో పెట్టుకోవాలి. కరెంట్ పోతే కూడా ఓబీఎస్ స్టూడియో పోయినా పెద్ద ఏమి ఉండదు అసలు. అది యూట్యూబ్ సర్వర్స్ నడుస్తుంటుంది అది. హలో హలో
type of ecosystem in Indian context. So with a few people, educators, they can inculcate us. We are not in a position to listen their words. But definitely, after experiencing this pandemic situation of COVID-19, everyone should have to concentrate this domain. I think that in future also, we should have to expect such ecosystem in Indian context. Definitely that is. So in this point of view, our resource persons, particularly what I have to say, that insist that variety of initiative measures for developing the startup and entrepreneurship in Indian context, they would have to stress. And also in this connection, I am going to say a few words about our incubation center in our college campus. Our center is a Center for Innovation, Incubation, Entrepreneurship, which was formally established in 17/7/2017 by our founder, Chairman Lakreddy Balreddy sir. The main objective of this center our principal, particularly our principal insists that to develop such type of ecosystem in our college campus. Then only there is a possibility to change the perceptions of the students from job seeking to job creating, that is. And also, it is only, we're relying on any funding agencies here. Our college should have to support funding related whatever it is here, our center. And also it is already registered under Section 8 Companies Act 2013. Now our center is a corporate for leading a variety of job activities from ideation to marketing. That a journey, a very long journey it is. Ideation, innovation, incubation, prototype, startups, entrepreneurship, marketing, patents related, whatever it is, we are trying to help in each and every dimension. And we have good mentors also. Internal point of view and external point of view, have good mentors, we have good experts to take their help for strengthening such type of ecosystem in our college campus. And also we have structurally, we have some systematic procedures, we have directors, we have faculty coordinators, we have student coordinators, we have in each and every dimension. And also we have MOUs with some premier institutes, IIT Bombay, IIT MHRD, Atal Ranking Institutions on Innovation Achievements, Atal Incubation Center, SK University, Sri Krishnadevara University, Anantapur, and others. The major activities of our center to provide support innovatively to our students and patent related, mentoring related, prototype designing related, our faculty and the externals also would have to take their help regarding this type of development. And also some projects are also going on in our campus. For example, the present projects are Trendy Nut and Smart Kinvi, Smart Socket and Smart Bin. And where we feel the team, where we feel the project is more worthy, in the sense we would have to provide nominal funds to this development. And also would have to take some projects are also going on in our campus. So present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin.
Agriculture related also.
And where
We already followed
the
that,
theme where we
what I
feel
say
the
that
project is
crops
more worthy,
related, Azolla
we have
grass
to
and
provide
mushroom
nominal
grass
funds to this
to the campus by supporting the
and
One Innovation
we have
Center.
to take
These
some
were
projects
also
also
before
going on
the
in our
corona
campus.
pandemic
So
situation.
present
For example,
present
we were in a
present
position to supply Azolla grass to
projects are
supporting
trendy
the
and
innovation
smart
center
in we
smart
smart socket and smart bin.
agriculture related.
And where
we already
the
participate
theme where we feel the project is more worthy, Azolla grant to provide nominal funds
However,
to the campus by
we have
and
some
we
gaps.
have to take
This
some
gap
projects also going on
regarding
in our
awareness
campus.
and,
So present
regarding,
present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin. And where we already the theme where we feel the project is more worthy, Azolla grant to provide nominal funds to the campus by and we have to take some projects also going on in our campus. So present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin. And where we already the theme where we feel the project is more worthy, Azolla grant to provide nominal funds to the campus by and we have to take some projects also going on in our campus. So present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin. And where we already the theme where we feel the project is more worthy, Azolla grant to provide nominal funds to the campus by and we have to take some projects also going on in our campus. So present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin. And where we already the theme where we feel the project is more worthy, Azolla grant to provide nominal funds to the campus by and we have to take some projects also going on in our campus. So present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin. And where we already the theme where we feel the project is more worthy, Azolla grant to provide nominal funds to the campus by and we have to take some projects also going on in our campus. So present projects are trendy and smart in we smart socket and smart bin. And where we already
initiatives because nowadays our Indian government is very much keen in promoting the incubation and entrepreneurship in all the educational institutes. Why? Because even if every student, every stakeholder studying and going going out as an alumni because nowadays going for the industry
Indian government
and working
is
for
very much
hard.
keen
But see, we
in
have seen
promoting
that
the
today
incubation
in
and
the pandemic
entrepreneurship
situation for the
in
last
all the educational
8 months,
institutes.
no
Why?
one
Because
is
even if
capable of doing
every
anything.
student,
They are
every
just
stakeholder
keeping in that
studying and going
at home, working from home, and they don't
as
know
an
what to do
alumni
and
because
how to survive
nowadays
ourselves
going
in
for
the
the
future.
Indian
So
government
everybody
and
must
is very much
inculcate
keen, but
in their
see, we have
mindset
seen
how
that
to become
incubation
an
and
entrepreneur
entrepreneurship
and
in
how
all
to
the
sustain themselves
educational
without
institutes.
having
Why? Because
any kind of
even if every
circumstances like
student, every
see whatever
stakeholder
be
is
that
studying
they
and going
study.
at
So
home,
immediately economy of the nation. That is very important. That is very important to build the economy of the Indian government and the nation, and so that everybody is possible to live very happily. That is very important. And our today's guests are very fortunate enough to have in our college to promote what are the research facilities and the initiative
important to
perspectives
build the
to
economy
promote
of the Indian
to
government
get
and the nation,
in their
and so
mindset.
that everybody
Thank
is
you very much,
possible
sir.
to
Thank
live.
you.
That
Thank
is
you all.
very
Thank you.
important. And our
Thank you, sir.
today's guests
Now I request
are very fortunate
our
enough to
principal,
have in our college
Dr.A.Narendra sir,
to promote what are
to address the class.
the initiative important to
Good
build the
morning to
economy
you.
of the Indian
Am I audible?
government and the nation,
Yes, sir.
and so
Yes,
that
sir.
everybody is possible to live. That is very important. And our
Thank you, sir.
today's guests
Now I request
are very fortunate
our
enough to
principal,
have
Manoj Gautam and
our
Sunil Kumar.
Dr.A.Narendra sir,
to promote what are
to address
the
the class.
the initiative important to build the economy of the Indian government and the nation,
Yes, sir.
and so that everybody is possible to live.
Thank
That
you
is
all
very
for
important. And our
Thank you, sir.
today's guests
Now I request
are very fortunate
our
enough to
principal,
have
I'd like Manoj to appreciate Gautam and
our college
Dr.A.Narendra
to
sir,
promote what are
to address
the
the class.
initiative important to build the economy of the Indian government and the nation, and so that everybody is possible to live. That is very important. These guests
Now I request
are very fortunate enough to have our college to promote what are
to address the class.
that idea we have
To all of you. Good morning. My name is Vikas Mandral, and I am founder, director, and chief marketing officer of a company known as Solution Buggy. So, what I think is, unless and until we know the context, unless and until we know what is going to happen in the next 20 years or 30 years, the trends which are shaping the business, it's immaterial to talk about innovation, business, or even entrepreneurship. So my discussion today, first of all, would be focusing on what would be the trends that will shape the world economy in the next 20 years, around which businesses will be built, around which entrepreneurs will build companies, businesses will be built. So then I will talk about my company Solution Buggy, which is an innovative concept, and we have created a niche in the market, and how we are developing entrepreneurship. And then we can talk about some reflections out of these two discussions. So I have a presentation to share.
Sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Sir, our
Welcome to all of you. Good morning.
Dr.
My name is Vikas
Venkateswarlu,
Mandral, and I am founder,
co-convener
director,
of the
and chief marketing
program,
officer of a company known
is
as
going
Solution
to
Buggy.
read the credentials
So
of our
what I think
resource
is,
person.
unless and until we know the context, unless and until we know what is going to happen in the next 20 years or 30 years, the trends which are shaping the business, it's immaterial to talk about innovation, business, or even entrepreneurship. So my discussion today, first of all, would be focusing on what would be the trends that will shape the world economy in the next 20 years, around which businesses will be built, around which entrepreneurs will build companies, businesses will be built. So then I will talk about my company Solution Buggy, which is an innovative. Then I will talk about my company Solution Buggy, which is innovative.
And had held key positions in L&T construction and TE connectivity and SKF Group. His previous stint was with SKF Group as General Manager India, Middle East and Southeast Asia, responsible for global business and team assignments. He's a keynote speaker and moderator in different global and domestic events organized by CII, PhD, and SIATI, etc. He has presented more than 15 white papers on global strategy, international business leadership, supply chain management, etc. in various forums. Mr. Mandral is an avid writer and his articles have been published in newspapers and various leading industrial magazines. SAR's area of expertise is international business, business strategy, business development, partnerships and collaborations, aerospace and defense and manufacturing industries. Sir, really, we are very much delighted to have you on our online platform, sir, Mr. Mandral, sir. And secondly, I want to read out the brief profile of Dr. Sharmili Mane. Dr. Sharmili Mane hails from Kolhapur, Maharashtra, and awarded her PhD in chemical engineering from Curtin University, Australia in 2018, and Master of Technology for Bioprocess Technology in 2012 from Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. Distinction with 9.79 CGPA and a Bachelor of Engineering, Biotechnology, in 2009 from Kids College of Engineering, Kolhapur. She is taking key roles in various capacities for the following research and business organizations. As a director of YD Mane Research Center, Kagal, Kolhapur, and as a founder director, Pure Me Organics Private Limited, Kolhapur, as a mentor board member, Government of India, OPEX Startup Accelerator, Kolhapur, as an academic and management consultant to the Kagal Education Society, Kolhapur, as an advisory board committee member for D.Y. Patil's College of Engineering, Kolhapur, as a head and research and development for Steps Mushrooms, Kagal, Kolhapur, and as visiting faculty for Department of Technology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and as a research mentor for Curtin University students, Australia, since 2016. And her research area of interest, bioprocessing of secondary agricultural products, design and development of downstream processes, and for biopharmaceuticals, process optimization and characterization, analytical methods, development, and agricultural technology. She has been conferred with various awards and fellowships, 2019 Australian Research Council Linkage Grant, and 2018 recognition and publication of PhD research work, and 2017 Curtin Commercial Innovation Award in Health Sciences, and 2016 Postgraduate Research Excellence Award, and 2012 received travel support to present research paper in SBCN at Bordeaux, France, and 2012 she has been Praharaj Manoj Memorial Award been conferred to her, and in 2010 Madam got qualified in GATE in biotechnology, All India rank 168 with 98.5%, and we welcome ma'am for this very good webinar, and we are really pleasant, ma'am, to have you on our platform. And thirdly, I want to read out the profile of Mr. M.S. Manoj. Mr. M.S. Manoj is from Bangalore and graduated from Visvesvaraya Technological University, Belgaum in Computer Science Engineering and MBA from Manipal University. He has grown from software engineer to CMO of a software company, namely Lehman Technology Private Limited, Bangalore, and he had a rich work experience to his credit. He is self-made and initially has worked as software developer with MNCs like IBM, HP, and Cisco, and later by gaining more experience and competencies in his career, has established his own software company. Okay, Mr. Manoj is also very instrumental and key member of the following professional bodies, like as president for Republic Chamber of India and as a director at Intel Skill Development Center and mentor for Links India Infrastructure Management. Okay, Mr. Manoj Garu, welcome you, sir, for our webinar. And really, we are very much fortunate to have you on our platform. And finally, I want to read out the credentials of Mr. Senthil Kumar. Okay, who is a very instrumental to make this particular program come true. Okay, he is a social entrepreneur and catalyst. And Mr. Senthil Kumar is from Vellore, Tamil Nadu, and his main focus to make young generation as social entrepreneurs and to contribute to the society by different means. He worked as a director for Integrated Marketing and Producers Association based at Bangalore. Also mentor for Krishnamurti Foundation, Coimbatore, and mentor for Atal Incubation Center, Sri Krishnadevara University, Anantapur. At present, he has been advisor for Dr. Arunachalam Charitable Trust for both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka states. He is a very good innovator in using lantana, a scientific name of bamboo kind of material for designing and manufacturing furniture and various kinds of home decor. Sir, really we are happy to have you, sir, for this program. And our principal, sir, normally used to tell us during this pandemic period also, these kind of webinars are really benefiting not only our college, even the academic environment, because these kind of programs, without making any kind of movement, the resource persons can also share their knowledge. It is a wonderful opportunity, sir. When we see and perceive this kind of a pandemic situation like Corona, we can exploit this kind of opportunities from the people, sir. Really nice to have all four of you, sir, on our platform. And I am handing over my mic to, Dr. Narendra, sir.
Sir, meet-lo unnar, sir. Meet-lo unnar.
Thank you, Venkateswara Garu. Now I request Vikas Mandal sir to start the session.
Thank you, sir. So once again, a very good morning to all of you. So I will share my presentation now. Uh,
Please, sir, please.
so are you all able to see my screen?
Governor Batil.
Yes, sir.
So is the screen visible?
Visual.
Okay, so I'll start. So, as the topic is about innovation, startup, and entrepreneurship, uh, I generally am from aerospace and defense background, and that's why I see the technology development, technology innovation. It starts from aerospace many a times, and then it goes to a different, kind of sector. Just to give you an example, we talk of fly-by-wire. So, fly-by-wire is where, you know, instead of mechanical uh, linkages, we have electronic signals going to the other point, and then that electronic signal giving rise to a mechanical movement. So this is known as fly by wire. It started in aerospace, and now it's drive by wire in automotive. Similarly, if we see internet itself, it started from defense application, and today it has become a part of life. So that's why when we talk of innovation, I think of aerospace and defense, and that's why this background. So the sequence in which I will go ahead is self introduction. I'll talk about myself, and then I'll also talk about uh, trends shaping global economy in the next 20 years. What's going to happen and how the economy will be there. We talk about where we are in Indian economy, what would be future, and why we need to be focusing on startups and innovation and entrepreneurship at this point of time. I'll talk about our platform, my company, Solution Buggy, which is a startup, and we are working in a and we are trying to make an unorganized sector digitalized and organized. And then we will talk about reflections of whatever we have discussed in some points. So this is in general my profile. I started from a government job. I worked almost 6 years there. Then um, and it was a purely technical work. Then I went to more of business side, where I worked for Larsen and Toubro, Connectivity, and SKF, which are multinational companies. And then I started my own startup. Other than Solution Buggy, I'm also associated with a lot of small and medium scale enterprise in different capacities. As a director, as an advisor, and as a consultant. So I'm helping a lot of entrepreneurs to uh, come up, to start up, and to start their business. Most of them primarily in manufacturing sector, in different fields, but then I do advise a lot of companies. So recently we also in Solution Buggy started a webinar session, especially during pandemic. So we have, I myself have mentored almost 100 plus entrepreneurs who want to come into manufacturing. Other than this, there were other initiative also in automotive sector, in food processing sector, in pharma sectors, where experts have given guidance or where the market is going and where entrepreneurs should invest in a particular sector, in which products, in which areas, where growth is going to come in India. This is in general about my education, so purely a technical background with management experience. So, why I covered this topic today, trends shaping global economy, is we talk about business, but it is immaterial to talk about business unless we know the context in which we are talking about, how it will change. So, I would say these are the four major forces that are going to drive the global economy in the next 10 to 15 years. Shifting of economic power, accelerating technological changes, the aging population, and system-wide transformation. So I have a detail about each and every sector, but then before that, I want to tell you about how things have changed over the last 100 years. So if you see around 100 to 200 years back, the focus or center of gravity of the GDPs, if we see, and most of the mechanical engineers, they know about how to find out the exact coordinates of a center of gravity. So if we see different countries and GDPs and then try to find out the center of gravity, say 200 years back, it was around Asia. Gradually it shifted to Europe and then to America. But then what we see is the economic power or the center of gravity is again shifting towards east. And this time it took almost 180 years, 190 years to shift from Asia to say US. But then if you see the shift back, it's happening in last 20 years. So first of all, there's a shift, but the speed of the shift is also increasing very quickly, which means the growth is going to come from Asia, of course from China, but also from India. And why is the growth coming from? The growth is coming because the number of middle class people which are increasing in these developing economies. So this is just an estimate of what is going to happen. So if we see 2.4 billion consumers will be added in next 10 years to talk about. So these 2.4 billion will consumers will bring a lot of consumption, and that will drive the growth. But if you see 1.6 to 3.6, which is around 2 billion consumers are going to come from Asia itself. So the growth engine of the world will be Asia. There will be 2.4 billion new middle class consumers by 2030, and that is bringing the growth in the world. So this was the first point. Why the economic power is shifting from west to east. The second is rapid urbanization. If you see Shenzhen, this is an area in industrial area in China. You see the 1980s picture and 2016 picture. It has transformed. There's a big metamorphosis. Which you can see that how there were onion grown in that area, and now today it's fully international. And this is not just happening in Shenzhen in China. This is happening in 250 cities around the world, and many of them are in India. We are not talking about the big, cities like Bangalore or big cities like Delhi, NCR, or Chennai, which have already grown. We are talking about the tier 2 cities, which will bring in the change. We are talking about, cities like Ahmedabad, cities like Indore, cities like Coimbatore, which will bring in a lot of change, because the growth will come from these these tier 2 cities. The third reason for change in economic power, as you see, is what I told. In 2025, almost half of the world's billion-dollar plus companies will be headquartered in emerging markets, 40% of new companies in Asia. So if you see in 2010, 73% of the $1 billion revenue companies were coming from West, and only 27% were coming from emerging economies. But if you see what is going to happen in 2025, the scenario is completely going to change. And that too, we know those companies who are growing, and we see new age entrepreneurs becoming billionaires in 30s in India. We talk about Oyo, we talk about Flipkart, we talk about a lot of new, we talk about Ola, we talk about a lot of new generation entrepreneurs, the first generation entrepreneurs who are bringing in a lot of value addition, a lot of business in India. And why all this business is coming is because of those consumers. So we see the companies growing. So we have micro industry, we have small industry, we have medium industry, and then we have large industry. So what we see is, in India, if we see the number of half billion revenues companies in the world, it's hardly 500. But if we compared it with China, it is around 1,500. So it is almost, I would say, 3 times bigger companies, which means that India needs much more bigger companies. Now, how do these bigger companies come up? So when they grow, a micro company changes into a small company. A small company grows into a medium company, grows into a large company. So this is how it goes on. I'll just give an example of how things are changing. So if you see in 1930s, the Standard and Poor Index, say the average age of a Fortune 500 or a top 5 S&P top 500 company was 100 years. But today, if we see, it has reduced a lot. So what we used to say is that developing a sustainable competitive advantage is no more valid. So if a company taking it over and bringing it to another level, so this is in general more use and at the same time being economical. So a lot of businesses, lot of entrepreneurs, or a lot of business ideas will be revolving around these global resources. We talk of now technology shift. If we see in 2010, the number of connected devices have exceeded the human population. So, and it's going to increase more and more devices come into picture, which means technology is going to be the key area for us to be connected. We see a lot of people getting connected through technology. We see a lot of sales. We see a lot of transactions, financial transactions happening over platforms. So technology is going to be the key initiative, key thing for all of us, which will be a major part of the business growth. On the other slide, I see disruptive technology will have enormous impact by 2025. And we see economic impact of 12 most significant disruptive technology. We talk about mobile internet, because internet was available on mobile. Now lot of things have become much more easier. We talk about automation of knowledge work. We talk about Internet of Things. We talk about cloud technology. We talk about advanced robotics, and these are the ones. But then 5 years down the line, when we go and we see this, the list would be completely different. And we would think, 5 years back, we were not even thinking about this as a disruptive technology. But today, it has changed a lot. So these are the economic impact on most disruptive technology. And what I mean to say from this side is technology is going to be a key, and business need to take care of technology while they make their business strategy. We talk about changing in business. So in 1990s, if you see the top companies in the world, you see GM, Chrysler, and Ford in 1990s, they were making around 250 billion revenues with 1.2 million employees and 36 billion market cap. But if you see today, say in 2015, who are the top companies in the world? They are the technology companies. You see Google, Facebook, and Apple making $328 billion with just 155,000 people. So and a market cap of 1,467 billion, which is 28 times out of that. So we see a lot of value addition from each employee. So if you see the market cap per employee or even revenues per employee, it has significantly increased, which means that technology, again, the type of business that were going on, and the type of the effect of technology is going to take place. And then technology is changing the nature of threats to the business. So one more area which we talk about is going to be very, very crucial for the whole world is security, internet security. So and then there's a saying by Eric Holder, who's a former Attorney General of the US, who says there are only two types of companies: those who have been hacked and those that do not know that they have been hacked. Which means your data secret, your data important, secrecy of your data is very important. And that's why we see companies like McAfee, we see companies in this area of internet security becoming more and more prominent. So this was the changing economic shift. Now we talk about another aspect, which is we spoke about change in economic power from west to east. We spoke about technology, how it is changing. Now we talk about uh, aging population. So demographics is something which is very, very difficult to change. The population increase, the aging of the population, the average age of population. So I'll just give an example of how things are going on. So when I joined HAL Lucknow from 2000 to 2003, I was the youngest officer in those 3,000 people for 3 years. And then today, when I joined Solution Buggy, I am a co-founder and CMO here. So I am the eldest employee in the company. So of course, we are growing old is one factor, but at the same time, the companies are growing younger, which means we have much more younger companies as compared to the previous company. So yes, aging population, which is a concern for all of us, more prominent right now in the West, less prominent in Asia right now. But then aging population is very important for business because the proportion of world's population over 65 will double by 2050. The number of people worldwide aged 80 or older will quadruple to 400 million. 80% of people 65 or older will live in low or middle income countries. So what does it mean? What it means is, number one, if we have a bigger aging population, is number one, the efficiency of the workforce that we have will not be that high as compared to a young population. Second thing is the financial burden on governments to support these aging people will be more. And if you see this particular graph which talks about aging will place massive strain on the governments. So this graph talks about the global net government debt as a share of GDP, which is going to increase. In 2050, the debt would be 216% higher than the GDP of the world, which means this, especially in Italy, especially in Japan, the aging population is a big concern. So today we are not facing it, but then 30 years, 40 years down the line, we are also going to face this problem. So there is a fundamental shift. So when we talk about fundamental shift, it talks about various fundamental structure of the society are being affected. We talk about rising inequality. We talk about polarization of media and politics. We talk about increasing displacement from technology. We talk about increasing displacement from trade. We talk about geopolitical instability. When we say rising inequality, if you see the graph on the right hand side, we are living in parallel universe. The very few are accumulating more and more wealth as the rest of society is increasing dislocated. We spoke about, so if you see the richest 1% richest, they have so the wealthiest 62 individuals in the world have the same wealth as the bottom half of the humanity, which means, and we also talk about a lot of salaries of top CXOs in companies, where CXOs earn 100 times, 200 times more than the average salaries of the company. So inequality is going to grow. Polarization of media and politics is, earlier 30 years back, we would have a very successful event when, say, around 5,000 or 10,000 people attended. But today, if we have a small number of people, and we can have a very successful show with 100 people, 50 people, with a very focused efforts. So all this is happening. Other than this, we talk about geopolitical instability, and lot of CEOs have concern about this geopolitical instability and its effect on business. We see a backlash for China from the whole world. It's a both business and emotional backlash. We see a lot of people right now, especially in pandemic, focusing on their indigenization. So people who were doing a lot of exports in India just because they were getting, price advantage, those people in abroad have been given advisory of focusing on themselves and not on the other country. So changing in geopolitical instability is geopolitics is going to be a key factor in the future. We saw its effect when which drives the business, but it is not so today. A lot of other things other than this are also coming into picture. In advanced economies, a larger and larger portion of the population are experiencing flat or falling incomes. We talk about our social problems are also interconnected. The number of global refugees reached an all-time high at the end of 2015. Of course, it is good to have a mix of people in the world, but then not in that way. It's a better, a sad state of affairs of accepting or not accepting refugees. So all this is talking about the geopolitical situation, inequality, which is going to grow. Then in this perspective, what we talk about is how significant is global leadership today. And when we talk about global leadership, it is not about that political leadership that we are talking about. We are talking about leadership in social sector. We are talking about leadership in business. What do leaders do? So what we spoke about till now is what leaders do. But now the next century is going to be who leaders are. So what leaders do and who leaders are two different things. So what leaders do has more effect on the activities, the actions. We spoke about Jack Welch. All of us know about Jack Welch and GE, how he transformed the company into a multi-billion business plus, which was profitable, and how he had that chart of Six Sigma, where he used to make remove people who were beyond a certain efficiency level, and then next year, every year he does it, and then he makes the in the whole process he makes the his organization much more effective. But then what happens is, what leaders do is more about the process, what they do, but then who leaders are is much more inherent. It is more about the people effect, how resilient they are, how decisive they are, how purpose driven they are, how people see them as a leader. And also a lot of I would say it depends upon the right versus right decision. Right versus right decision is, of course, what is right for the business is not right thing to do. When we say right, it is much more talking about ethics. So the business now will talk, or leaders will be considered those leaders who are much more ethical, who are much more resilient. And we saw that especially in pandemic, where we saw companies. So there were two big oil companies, and I won't name them. So one of them, they removed a lot of people. They gave them pink slips, and then gave a good return or to the shareholders. But at the same time, the other one, the CEO came into picture, and he says, I'm not going to remove any of my employees, because they need to run their families. So what they will do, and then he, although the shareholders didn't like it, but then as a leader, as a people officer, chief people officer, he said that of course there would be a deduction, might be a 10%, 15% deduction, or might be there could be a compromise on the variable salary, but then what he could not do, what he said is, I will not remove any of my employees. So this is how things go on. I was one also talking, I just was reading in a newspaper about a CEO who, so there was a new vaccine where, there was a way of mm, aborting a cow and then increasing the milk production of that cow. But then the person didn't take that decision, because of course on one hand we say a cow is a cow, and we don't see it, it's a business. And then if we use this if we abort say in certain weeks and then increase the productivity of the cow, it's okay. But then the other person or the ethical standard says no, it's wrong. So what I mean to say is global leadership is much going to be on who leaders are than what leaders do. So we talk of Indian economy. So this was just what is happening in the background in the world, or what is going to happen, and how things are changing, and how businesses will shape, how entrepreneurs will become. Now we talk of Indian economy and its characteristics. So we see India growing. We see a good growth rate, and we all are fortunate that we are in this phase where the growth is coming up. But then there are structural problems. We talk about insolvency and bankruptcy. We talk about non-performing assets. We talk about twin balance sheet problem, which is over-leveraged companies, bad loans. We talk about trade deficit, and then all of this, and then Corona came in. So we have challenges. We have our own challenges, and this data is slightly old one, which is 2018. But then what we see from India is, I see we were an agrarian society, which moved to say a service sector. The growth has in last 20 years or 25 years come from the service sector, especially IT, because we had a growing population. But then what we see is manufacturing is the sector which is going to come in, because today if we see 17% of India's GDP, 16 to 18 rather, if we take 5 years data, so 16 to 18% is contributed by manufacturing sector. But then if we see India has a growing population, and all of us need employment. So how to get that employment? Of course, unless and until everybody focuses on manufacturing sector, because the trend is like this, that from 17 18% the contribution of GDP to economy, it increases to 25%, and then it starts depleting. So there is a big scope of increasing. So 18 to 25% is the scope to which India can take it. And why it start decreasing? Because then value addition comes into picture. So the learning comes into picture. So we talk about more innovative products, much more new things. So right now we talk about volume. We talk about employing more and more people. We talk about how do we manufacture things efficiently. And when we reach that 25% level, we talk about more how we make innovative products. So even today we talk about industry 4.0, how to imbibe it, how to make smart factories. But then on one hand we have overpopulated population, which is unskilled, not fit for such sophisticated work. On the other hand, we have very number of people who can handle robotics, people who can work on industry 4.0, people who can work on 3D printing. So very few players are there. So there is a niche sector which is absolutely area which is absolutely blue ocean, what we call in management terms, and there are area which is red ocean, where there are a lot of competition, a lot of people, and then we do not see. So where do we want to place ourselves? Do we say that we will gain volume, we will gain from India's growth, and then the focus would be growth? Or we make ourselves a small company which is profit making and creating something very valuable, very different. We create a niche in the market, or we. So these two strategies, generally in management terms, we talk about are low cost advantage and differentiation. So differentiation is we do something different from the world. We create something new, and then low cost advantage is what we talk about is something which is for the masses. So just to give you an example of Nirma and Surf Excel. So this is a old story written by a management guru known as Mr. C.K. Prahlad, which talks about the bottom of the pyramid. So which says that there is, there is a very, there's a pyramid in terms of the affordability and the number of population. So they say very few people are, able to afford a very high prices. Then there is a middle class which is able to afford still something. But then majority of the people, the affordability is very low. And then when we talk about affordability, we have to make products that suits the local taste. So very cost effective, at the same time having minimal quality which can suffice the purpose. So right now India is especially in this inflection point where we look for products which are not as high quality or do not have special features which are required in India, but sufficient enough and affordable enough for the larger number of people. So growing population is of course important for our importance of manufacturing is important because of growing population, and we want to employ these people. We have less volatile investments because somebody, if he invests in a manufacturing sector, it's very difficult to then change. We are now talking about a lot of electronics manufacturing, mobile shops coming into India. So but then, as compared to service sector, so service sector is more dependent on people, it is more dependent on technology, so systems, softwares, so that can be changed with very quickly as compared to physical investment on machineries, plant, land, equipments. So that's why manufacturing sector investments are much less volatile. Employment plus multiplier effect. So what we say is every 3 jobs in manufacturing sector will give rise to 1 job in a service sector, which means that of course this manufacturing sector, people will create products, people will manufacture the products, but at the same time to manage this they need a lot of people who are from who support this kind of a business. In country learning curve, where are we going? Are we now efficient enough? And then absence of strong MSME ecosystem. So today we do not have a very good MSME system. The contribution of MSMEs, I think right now is 30% as compared to a developed economies where it is 60%. So the contribution today for when I say MSME sector, it's micro, small, medium enterprises. So they are contributing very less to the Indian economy as compared to other countries, which means they have to do much more. So these are strategic scenarios. I will quickly go to that. And now I come to solution buggy. So I spoke about, first of all, the economic shift, the how businesses will grow. I spoke about 4 trends which will shape global economy, and then I spoke about Indian economy and why we need to focus on manufacturing and what kind of businesses will grow. And then I come to solution buggy. Solution buggy is a platform which connects small and medium scale enterprises in manufacturing sector with a subject matter expert. So we have very small number of small scale industries in India is around 6.3 crore in 2016. So it is growing very rapidly. Sometimes above in double digits and 11%, 12%. But then is the second largest employer after agriculture, and it employs around 111 million population, which means that small and medium scale enterprise is very important for all of us to grow. First of all, because everybody who starts wants to start small unless he has the resources to make it big. So there are 2 definitions. Once we talk about a startup definition and one is MSME definition. So a startup is something which is focused on growth. Startup is something which is very new age, where the person who is driving the startup is focused on growth. So, and then MSME is something which is more related to a lifestyle kind of a business. So lifestyle kind of a business is we make the business and we grow it 10%, 20%, 30%. So startup is something which gives an exponential growth. And many a times there have been companies who have made forecasts, but then those forecasts have been invalid because the growth had been much more bigger as compared to what was projected. But at the same time 10-20% growth is something which is more peculiar about mm, manufacturing sector. So then we see a lot of challenges that are happening that MSME faces. It's related to knowledge and exposure, finance, and others. And then we see a lot of challenges that are coming. And if we compare it, it is compete. So they are not able to compete on a global scale because of quality certifications, because of e-connect. So connect is not much happening. Connect means they are not very well connected to the external world, and then change. So financials are also some issues. So what we do is we connect these industries with the subject matter experts online, and then we also take some projects which are related to helping them. So for example, a casting company will come to us and they say that, okay, I have an issue, I have got with titanium casting. So out of 8,000 experts that we have in our platform, there would be at least 20-25 experts which are related to the field, and we'll share that project with them, and then they get connected and solve their problem. So this is first level of interaction. The second level of interaction is when Solution Buggy takes up the project and say we are responsible for it, and we take it up and we go ahead. So we do not see anybody working in this small and medium scale enterprise sector because in consulting area as a platform, because it is very difficult. It's like Nirma, a high volume game but a low cost game. So of course, these are the three directors in the company, Mr. Arjun and Guru Prasad and myself, and we come from diverse background. And right now, because when a company is strong, it's the leadership team which drives the company. But then as the startup grows bigger, it's the brand which is built and which drives all the things. So right now it's very important that when somebody finds a company or somebody starts a company, it's very important that the leadership team, number one, is very cohesive. They work very closely with each other, and at the same time develop a network of people who help them. So competition, as I told you, that we are very unique. Almost nobody is working in this kind of sector that we are talking about. So this is what I wanted to tell. So points to ponder for students is, are we doing any value addition versus CGPA? So again, this is a right versus right decision. Should we only talk of percentages, CGPAs, or we see ourselves adding value or not? Is what skills that we are developing, is it of any use in the external market or no? Dearth of opportunities. So India has no dearth of opportunities. Even if we miss the first race, we can always catch up, because it's a big market. There's a lot of growth, there are a lot of opportunity. Create a niche. So work something on what others are not doing. Emotional aspects of choices. So it's very important. Sometimes we say that we shouldn't be attached emotionally to the work that we do, but at the same time, emotional aspect is going to bring in a lot of new ideas, new challenges, new ideas, new ways of working, new business models. And that's why we see nowadays emotional aspect is becoming more and more important for us, and upgrade and keep studying. So this is in general what I wanted to talk with you. So I'll stop here, and then if you have any questions, you can always contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas Mondal sir. It's a very beautiful presentation. So quickly we move to the next speaker, Manoj Gautam Garu. I request Manoj Gautam sir, please start your presentation.
So good morning, Mr. Vikas ji has said most of the sectors from the manufacturing to aviation to all the sectors he has completed. So I would just to make it in a very short and sweet, like when there's the other end, the most of the young energetic entrepreneurs are there who wants to become an entrepreneur, who wants to listen what kind of the industries are there, what we going to achieve, and how things are going to be. Like just to bring it on the in a small note, say they have an ability, they have a strength, they have a focus, and they have a determined to do something. They want to create something. They want to get into an entrepreneurship role, and they don't know what they want to do, which path they have to head into, what exactly they have to do, what the innovation to plan. They just saturated. They have been it's been scattered everywhere. They have to get into right sector, the right set of industry, what they want to, and how they want to become successful in that particular industry. That's what most of the young students who are listening, they want to get into idea of starting a business. To become this in a very simple note, if you want to do, why there is so much of an incubation and entrepreneurships are happening in the colleges, particularly compared to earlier. Now, if you see, there's a more of an entrepreneurship programs are happening in the colleges, any college across India. There is just so much of a grant has been sanctioned for the students. They've been recognized with the kind of interactive programs what they do and innovation platforms projects what the students are doing. There has been always there is a recognition is happening for the students. Why is it? Is because any revolutionary movement can happen in the college. This our government is planning for a revolutionary movement for an entrepreneurs to start from the college. So at the age of 22, you're a graduate, you're out of college. Before you could search for a job, you want to start something of yours. How are you going to do that? What are the platforms that you want to get into that? Right. So if you look into the bigger volume, in this pandemic, we understood is not only about starting a business which is a very high equity or very those businesses also got failed. But there's some small business made it in an innovative concept that's becoming successful. Like for example, if you take it as what are the availability products are there? Very easy availability products are there. One is an R&D, what you're gonna do, and you're gonna make it as a project, it's a bigger project. You're gonna talk about something you have to invest, you have to do a research, then start developing a project. Certain projects which is very homemade, which is very available, you have to have a crispy thought to make it reach to the end customer. How do you do that? So you need to understand, for example, if you're taking about turmeric, there is a huge amount of the turmeric demands across the globe. You procure those turmeric and how you sell, how you market, it's your thought. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you need to be a little bit of a leadership role. You need to have a leadership role. You need to have a complete market research. See, before all the young students who are listening, before you could start a business, before you want to get into something I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to be do something, you have a passion to do something, that you have to do a little bit of a market study, a market research. Understand what are the things are there, how industries are growing, which are the sectors there is a easy availability of raw materials are there, which are the industry where there is a booming. How could we make the change in this concept? So market research you have to do completely, which if you're talking about the market research, you cannot say that have to do a professional the kind of a research where you have to shed money to understand which sector, what the growth ratio, how. With your students, with the kind of a knowledge, acquired knowledge, you can do a little bit of a groundwork to understand what's available in the market. See, for example, there is a simple example I'll give to you. From a generation-wise, we are used to eating the idli and dosa at home. The consumption of the idli and dosa in India is a huge, particularly in the southern part of India. Our daily bread is only the idli and dosa. There's a ID Mustafa, he had come into the picture. There's a technology, it's available, very easily available, this technology. Every homemade, every mother knows how to make a idli batter at home. What he did is, the same concept, he put it in a nice package. And it delivered to all the retail stores. It's available in all next door stores. Where you go there, you come back, travel somewhere, and your mother will say, I cannot cook right now, we'll order something from outside. Say that, why don't we buy those dosa batter and make at home? The entire family, this is a quick access. You don't need to do a lot of research. You don't need to do a lot of investment on that, which is already available market. Every household knows this one, how to make a idli and dosa. So the same thing, I put it in as a package and gave it to you. Keeping all the preservative and all other norms are secondary. You can look into this market research, analysis, preservative, all these things are secondary, but the concept, what I'm talking about it, which is easy available, you put it in a package and you sold. This kind of a concept is what makes, it captures people, you can capture the market in a bigger way. If I'm talking about, you say that, I can make it at home, why do I need to buy? There are some percentage of the people who cannot do that at home. They don't know how to do that. There are people who are traveling. There are people who have come from the other cities. The people who have, they don't know how to keep the refrigerator. They cannot do that. But you captured the market for 25% of the market is a big number. So what is available to bring that into a big business module, that is an art. If you start searching, I have to do something big manufacturing unit, my investment is 20 crores, my investment is 5 crores, everybody will get scared. Friends, everyone will get scared. How can I invest 5 lakhs? How can I invest 10 lakhs? My family background is not so good. I cannot invest 10 lakhs on this. These products, to make something, that's very difficult. There you get a fear. That fear will kill your entrepreneurship. Make something which is already available. If you have a concept, very big concept, and that your investment is a huge amount of investment. If you run to 100 banks, banks are not willing to give you a loan. Banks will say that, boss, you show me 3 years of your turnover, then I'll give you a loan. So how are you going to get this one? So to start something, I have an idea, but I don't know how to execute those ideas. If I run to the 10 banks, the bank will say, your project is very good, but show me the turnover. Once you show me your turnover, definitely I'll fund for that. If not, you bring the collateral. You will be thinking, sir, if I have that collateral or if I have a bank balance, I will not be coming to you. I would have started my business. So I don't have both the things. Neither have a property nor I have money. So that's the reason I have come to the bankers. So if you fund me, I can start my business. From perspective of a banker, if you think, he will think only about your repayment caliber. The same thing if your friend who's working in a company, if he's joined in some company for 3 months or 6 months, he will be eligible for a 5 lakh rupees loan. But you are coming with a bigger product or a bigger idea, so you can generate almost on 50 to 100 employment. The banker will not look in that way. He will think that, what's your capability to repay? So that's the banker concept. But nevertheless, you got an idea, beautiful idea you got. You are very aware that, this product, when I give it in the market, people will buy my product. 10 people will buy my product. If 10 people are buying, tomorrow 100 it will take. Next 3 years, my product will reach to at least 10,000 to 1 lakh people will buy. So you have a broader projection. From day one, I'm starting. In 10 days, what I'm going to do? I'm going to do all the data, I'll collect which are the people who will eat, who will not eat this product, who will buy. So you have a data. The next 1 month you will do, 6 months. Then again, you go for a 1 year. So in 1 year, how many employees you're going to recruit? What's your how many computers you required? What's the data you required? So marketing, everything you plan. Then inflow of your funds you will calculate. The next 2-3 years you will have that's a project projection. That is your project projection. How you will give your entire project projection is for the 3 years. What is your forecast? With this forecast, look for, there are a lot of incubation center. You got in your college itself, you have a beautiful incubation center. Like this, there are so many incubation centers are there. There are fundraisers are there. There is a VCs are there, angel investors. He has money. He cannot get into one business. He has huge amount of money, but he doesn't have that kind of energy or the passion to invest in one business. You have a passion, you have an idea, you have a concept. Connect with the VC and give your idea. You tell your VC, boss, invest this much of money for the phase 1. I will develop the project. I will make sure that this much of the growth will happen. The phase 2 of my project, you invest some more. He will connect 100 VCs, 100 venture capital people, or angel investor. 1% definitely he will decline. 10 people will decline. 50 people will decline your project. You throw in the dustbin. But you have a confidence that your project will hit. You have so much of a passion on your project. The 99th person who's a venture, he will say, yes, I will invest in your company. So he will say, your requirement is 2 crores. I will not invest 2 crores. I will invest only 2 lakhs. Show me at least sustainability. Then I will invest 10 lakhs. 50 lakhs. He's not asking your profit. He's saying he said that after I invest 1C, you tell me in the next 6 months what you gonna give me a profit. So friends, that you understand. I'm here only with an idea. I don't have any financial background. I'm from the very below middle class, or I'm doing everything, my studies in the scholarship. I don't have even a rupee of money in my account. My family cannot support me, or I'm a middle class. I have a fear of everything where I can fund money from how, to pump that money, whether I'll success or failure. That is itself one big fear for me. So here, I'm looking for someone who has a money, who coming to invest here. Give him a profit. So he will say that, give me 30% of your stake, 30% of your profit, you give it to me, or 50% of your profit, you give to me. Somebody was asking me, I don't have anything. If not, my idea somebody else will create. Somebody else will capture my idea. The time lapse is in such a way that if you don't run today, tomorrow your idea is there in the media, somebody else will take it. So he has money, you have your idea, collaborate and start your business. This is one of the way where you can engage yourself and bring it to the next level. Start with your small business concept. Get into that. The next level by level by level, you start increasing. So there is nothing is impossible. All you have to do, a little bit of a pressure and little bit of a strength and dedication and focused. The most important is you have to be extremely focused to get that. Because first 6 months you think that you will go only with a rejection. Next 1 year you will go through a rejection. 1 more year you will say that I don't have anything, whether I'll be successful or not, whether I'll reach to the market or not. The 3rd year your business starts picking up. By the time it comes to the 5th year, in most of your college, who are the boys who have joined to the MNC company, you will be, as an entrepreneur, you will be in a position to recruit them in your company. That's kind of an energy, that kind of a focus you keep it. The guys who are there working in an MNC company, you can pay them the double salary and you can bring it to your company. That's the passion, that's the energy you should have. If you have that kind of energy, that kind of a determination, yes, definitely you can be successful. See, and there is a few things are there. For example, there is a traditional businesses is there. It's a monopoly of the business. Carpentry, electrician, a plumber. These are the kind of, there are this kind of things. There are a lot of monopoly businesses there where there is no, father will be a plumber, by default son will become a plumber. It carries over to the generation wise. They will not train the other people, and other people doesn't want to get into the business either. But these people are in demand. Every household required a switch or electric tube light or something to be changed, and plumbing work every household required. So this kind of a business are the most demand, is a service oriented business. You can bring all these plumbers and electrician to one platform, and you can outsource to any company. Thus again, then you call it a facility management company. You provide everything. Under one roof, we provide a housekeeping to vendors, to everything we provide. This becomes as a service management, facility management. So like this, there are business opportunities that lies in next door. You have to tap at the right time, at the right moment, with the right potential and right focus. If you tap that, you can win the platform. If you lose, you will be working to, if as an entrepreneur, if you say that, I want to become an entrepreneur and I could not do that, so and so reasons, all those things are reasons. If you fail to do today, you will be working under someone to fulfill his dream, not yours. So today, if you want to be an entrepreneur, start working right from today. Understand what's there in the market, each and every pin. Why the people are not buying the big shampoo bottle, why they want to buy the sachet. So what is the ratio? The big shampoo bottle is a 250 rupees, sachet is a 1 rupee. What is how much of a market value goes on buying a 250 rupees, paying a big bottle, and how many people buy the sachet? If you see in your house or my house, how many people buy the big shampoo bottles? How many people buy the sachet? If you go for a travel, will you carry the big shampoo bottle or 1 rupee sachet, 1 rupee shampoo package? So like this, what's the other end the customers require? Only about you selling your product. My product is good, buy. Nobody will buy. You have to design something what the other person required. You have to understand what the emotions of the other person, what he required. So design accordingly, work accordingly. So this will reach you to the higher level. Your margin value might be very less, but your mass volume, if you see, your profit margin is very much more than what you expect. So friends, be focused, understand. So before you do a lot of research. You will break, you will drain, you will break, you will be lack of focus, you will go through a lot of tough time. You have to tune yourself to reach to the right tip of a knife. If you want to, you have to get use of it. And in fact, your colleges will have all these facilities. All the colleges are accredited to, and with one or the other incubation center. Make use of all the incubations. What are the availabilities are there? What are free availabilities are there, including your internet to domain to hosting? If you want to do what is free available, use the free availability. Cost cutting, you have to understand the cost cutting. In your college, if they provide you an incubation center, use the incubation center. So if there are incubation centers in ISC, there is NASCOM incubation centers, there are a lot of startup incubation centers are there. Make use of all of that. When you get as a startup, you don't have an idea, but you want to get into this incubation, there itself you will get a lot of idea. You will get a lot of resource from that incubation center itself. Your friend will be there, or a senior who will become a coder. He's a developer. Then you require a developer. Your friend itself becomes a developer with you. So get collaborated, get connected to us. Mr. Sendil sir was corrected me at the time when I was giving a presentation. Get connected to the right kind of a people. Even the guitar, if you need to get a nice music, you have to tune. First, tune yourself. Where the rhythms, where the tuning have to be done, tune yourself, what exactly you require. Understand whether you want to become as an entrepreneur or you want to become as a job seeker. So which is it? If you look into the broad aspects, going further, the job seekers will be difficult to get a job. So you start giving the jobs to everyone. So this will change the Indian history. You will be the one person who wants to change the Indian history. Yes, you can do that. You can make a mark in the history. As being an entrepreneur even from any small town, there are so many entrepreneurs, successful people are there who have been gained from the small town. That is going to be the revolutionary change. Be an entrepreneur, be a successful entrepreneur, use all the resource available, and all the best. And any support, any guidance you require, you are always free to welcome. You can drop me an email. Sir, please, they will share your email ID. Please drop me an email. I will be there to support. All the best. Thank you for providing me this opportunity. Thank you. Thanks a lot.